Beautiful, isn't it, Marge? Yeah, hello everybody, welcome to it's now got to the point where I'm just like a Trigger Lips' style walk along, you know, despite the fact that he does it because he enjoys watching these videos, and just literally listening into Gary's interview with D-Unit. It's on members only, be available at some point. And I'm just out on a walk, and I've basically come across this pathway where not a single human being, even though ironically, I'll do a Trigger Lips, what was that? Even though ironically, no one's been walking along here, and the second I wanted to start doing a video, 2 people come along. I haven't seen a single human being, and all of a sudden, 2 people come along at the precise moment I start hitting the record button. Anyway, whatever. But no, in the D-Unit video, they're talking about, essentially we're now approaching the end of the season. And I stated it again in my early thoughts video yesterday. I'm going to say it again. It's the old line of basically, right, what can we do to catch our rivals? Well, the short answer is, as you know, it will be to basically pick logical differentials. And for whatever reason, for people like me and Ray that are chasing, because remember, we are 165th in the world, remember that. For anybody that doesn't understand that joke, which would be basically anybody, I put up a post as a joke on X because I'm sick to death. I was sick to death of just constantly seeing these people on X just to get followers. They'd put, oh, we're X rank in the world, so it'd be 100th in the world, 95th in the world, 1st in the world. Comment below and I'll answer all your dilemmas. And it was just, all I saw in the For You section was this section plagued with all these people desperate for followers. And basically, I just thought, as a joke, I'm getting sick to death of seeing this. I'm just going to do it myself and just put some generic 3-figure number up. And because of that, I got 30 followers. They'll be enjoying all the extras and office quotes, and Bill, of course, the Bill quotes. But yeah, me and Ray are at a stage now with the FPL game where basically we need to kind of start looking at who could be some decent differential options ahead of game week 37 and game week 38. But I think more specifically for game week 38, because obviously game week 38 we are more than likely going to have 2 free transfers. I've kind of already said to Ray that I think pretty much, even though the logical move would be to do Isaac out for Watkins, the way this season has gone, and let's not mess about here, you know it's true, the way this season has gone, basically that is going to completely backfire. You know that's going to be the case. Watkins will blank in a 1-1 draw with Tottenham, even though the home form of Aston Villa is exceptional. We know this. But people are jumping on Aston Villa, and rightly so, because Ange Postecoglou has come out, easy for me to say, has basically said we're going to play a weakened team when we're not taking the Premier League. I mean, I just cannot believe it is. Ray sent me a screenshot, funny enough, even though I've seen it anyway, but it is funny when you see it in isolation of Man United and Tottenham just above 17th or 18th, whatever it is. That's cretinous. And yet they're both in a Europa, they're both playing each other in the Europa League final. It's legitimately cretinous. And I mean, I don't know what Tottenham fans feel or Man United fans feel like, but whenever I do occasionally, which is very rare, tuning to TalkSport. Oh, we're here. Maybe wondering what. I'll just show you. It's like some at the bottom of the top, more specifically at the top. There's a road that takes you all along towards Teignmouth. Oh wow, I did not realise I was here. Which means nothing to anybody, but... Right, okay, fair enough. I could take a seat. I can't be bothered. Hold on. Well, that's the end of me walking forward because of... All I'm doing, I'm not going to lie, is impressions of trigger lips. Over and over going, I don't believe it, Pete. That's a terrible impression. You come out for a walk and you're blocked off by a fence. Oh, it's really annoying. I don't really want to be going back that way. I can't be arsed. But going that way, you just go into a main road. It means basically I have to go that way. How annoying. How very, very bloody annoying. Anyway, let's walk back this way then. Fair enough. Continue talking absolute twaddle. So Man United and Tottenham fans, I don't know exactly how they're feeling. A comment below. But they'll be very, very disappointed with the fact that the Premier League season has just been an absolute disaster for them. Let's not beat about the bush. It has. It's been an absolute clusterfuck. But I think that, as I stated in the early thoughts video, it's going to be really, really difficult to pick from certain teams. I always keep banging on about Ahmad and Mason Mount, but have they just been performing well because they've come back from injury? They know they're going to be in a cup final and they've just started playing to work their way in the team, or are they just performing now to show Amaron, oh, we're worthy of being in your team next season? It's only a small select few of teams now we can really choose from. Like I stated, I mean, I saw one live streamer, they were talking about the Isaac in out for Watkins. You then had, I've seen on the homepage, the For You section on YouTube, you've got people on FPL channels saying basically the same thing, Isaac to Watkins. And as I state, I was quite surprised by the lack of goals that Aston Villa are scoring at home over the last 6. Like I stated, can Ollie Watkins get 2 goals against Tottenham? Of course, but there seems to be their limit. Just 2 in the last 6 fixtures, I will add. There's a lot of 2-1s and 1-0s, but nothing to write home about really. And I think that it is going to be a bit of a lottery, and the fact that Isaac has got he's got a really good record against Arsenal, that, as I stated, this season just seems to be, if we just hold our players, you'll probably come through okay. And that's why I'm kind of really, really, really tempted to just leave the team as it is. Leave it as it is. And then essentially it'd be a case of, right, move into game week 38, go to FPL Juice Studios, because they're going to be doing a special day because it's the final day of the season. I'm probably going to go to the studios, and I say studios, it's a studio. Go to the studio, go down to, Waterloo, the Thirsty Bear, and then it'd be just a case of, right, let's find out what the team news is. Are there any players that are potentially missing? You know, I mean, for all we know, Haaland may not be playing in game week 38. I think that, for me, in fact, now thinking aloud, and this is what Trigger Lips always says, doing this stuff and thinking aloud, actually, it could be a case of, we need as many free transfers as we can. And to be fair, our team isn't too bad moving in to game week 38. So actually, it may just be a case of, to hell with it, get through game week 37. Whatever happens in game week 37 happens in game week 37. It's really down to the captaincy. Yeah, it's going to be down to the captaincy this specific game week. And because, as Triggerlip says regarding, we're not going to know the Man City team. In fact, the fact that the game week starts on Friday almost pushes people into this. Well, at least we know that with team leaks that what the Aston Villa outcome will be. Well, I can give you a team leak now. Ollie Watkins will be starting. So if you want to do the move, do the move. You don't need to wait for leaks for that. Same with Tottenham. No one's going to be looking at Tottenham players, so don't worry about that. That's what always fascinates me about this vermin. Every time I say vermin, I have to do vermin fault here. They're vermin. But it's true. These people that are hanging on to find out that Ollie Watkins is starting, he will do. There's no one taking his place. Rashford's out injured because Tielemans is out. Emre's basically having to revert to pretty much a team which we all expect him to be playing anyway. His hand is essentially forced. So, from that aspect, if you are going to be doing the Ollie Watkins move, don't have this panic and this fear of, oh my God, I'm going to wait until team leak news. As Triggerlip says, slap yourself across the face, touch some grass, speak to a girl, and you know what? It'll be all right. You can bring in Ollie Watkins now if you really want him. But for me and Ray, I think the hold will be ideal. I don't have any problem with playing Isaac away at Arsenal. I have zero problem with that. Arsenal, yes, they are fighting for second spot, but Newcastle seem to have their way with Arsenal this year. You've then got Man City, who again are fighting for second spot, but of course, whatever happens in the FA Cup final may dictate who plays, who doesn't. I know that Danny Boy said about it's going to be Kevin De Bruyne's last game at the Etihad. I mean, that means nothing, but I'd like to think that maybe Pep does give him a start. And why wouldn't he, unless he gets injured or some form of fatigue. And then, yeah, you've got the likes of Haaland, who I think will play no matter what. And is he the ideal captaincy choice? Again, the logic would dictate go with safety this particular game week. And we're about to go underneath a nice dark tunnel here. I wonder if a train will come over. Well, the answer was no, a train didn't come over. But certainly I think that maybe this particular game week, as I look at it, I think this is probably the game week to just go with a bit of a safety captaincy, whatever the popular FPL polls are saying. I think this is the game week to maybe just take a breather and just be like, you know what, I'm not risking it this week. And then in game week 38, where me and Ray will hopefully have, well, we should have 2 free transfers, I think at that point it'd be just a simple case of, right, what damage are we getting from the team leaks? Is there any really nice differential punts from game week 38 that are starting? And then it'd be a case of, right, we've got 2 free transfers. A lot of people have maybe used their transfers by now, could be taking hits, and actually it could be advantage. yeah, it could be advantage for me and Ray. Yeah, so I think that game week 38 could be the pivotal one for me and Ray. I still can't believe, I mean, I know I'm waffling on like 3 days later about the fact that we came out with a green arrow. I still am perplexed. And when I was looking at the mini leagues for the Patreon, specifically for when I was going through the Patreon stuff and looking at, oh, this is what, so like for argument's sake, Blonde triple captaining Visser, it's like, oh, it could have been worse for me. Or for argument's sake, we had, who was it, Jason with his terrible bench. I felt so I mean, his bench was just mental. Like I said, it was Dan Burn, Jacob Murphy, and I'm pretty certain it was either Areola or Verbruggen. I forget. He definitely had a lot of points on his bench, basically. And yeah, it turned out that actually me and Ray ended up having a pretty good game week overall, to be frank. And yeah, this game week 37 is just going to be essentially a blip. And then, or more specifically, game week 36, look, we used the bench boost, or more specifically, I accidentally didn't hit the cancel button on it. Whatever happened now. And yeah, we just move into these next 2 game weeks where basically it's going to be all or nothing. And that could be in fact that could be the title of this walking video, all or nothing. And yeah, certainly I think that with that attitude, you know, pushing on to try and catch certain people in the mini leagues, it's going to be difficult, but I think that it is probably going to be possible. On that note, I'm going to leave you with a quick view of Newton Abbot Racecourse. All I'll say is, as ever, thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm sure I'll be doing a quick final team selection video. That'll be fun. And then, yeah, it'd be just a case of getting through. I mean, what is this game week? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's like the longest game week possible. And then we move into Sunday, where it is the final game week of the season. And then it's back to, right, for a lot of people, what on earth do we do? But anyway, we can discuss that on a different day. See you later.